Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Here we are again, Monday, 2 p.m. Thank you for joining today. Thank you, everyone, for your time. We know your time is precious, so we appreciate you joining these daily webinars. Hello, everyone. We're just waiting on a few more people to join, and we should be going live, getting started any moment now. Good afternoon, Anne. Hello, Sharon, Alison, hello, David. Looks like we're all good. Let me pull up my chat as well so I can keep an eye on things on my phone. So many screens going on here. Josh is in the chat. Yeah, okay, so Josh is in chat answering questions today. His name will come up as my name, Matt Wiles. Thank you for joining. We've got a few people joining a little later. They sent us an email saying we'll make it, but it might be about 5 past, but we're going to start very soon. Everything looks good. Josh says he can hear and see me. Well, thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. Hope everyone's doing well. Hi, Michael. Hi, Ricky. Afternoon, Martin. Good to see you. Good to see you, Keith. Hi, Patricia, Rebecca. Wow, there's a lot of people here today. There's a lot of people. Pressure is on. But have we got a schedule for you this week? I have spoken to the team and I have got the best people joining this webinar this week. They've all agreed to step up and take part. So we have a gentleman called Dan, who is our head of PPC. Google Ads, Microsoft Ads. He is going to be running a session this week on how you can set up a successful ad campaign, marketing campaign on Google Ads and Microsoft Ads. So it's amazing. There's some really, really deep learning points to come out of that. So we're looking forward to that one. Another session we've got is on social media. We've got our king of social media, Sam. Sam is going to be doing a webinar this week as well. So it's not all me this week, unfortunately. I've been here doing the sessions from early last week. We've covered a lot and we've got a lot to cover. And I hope everyone's spreading the word. I hope everyone is giving the link out. If you can't find the link, just send them to infoserve.com/COVID, COVID, and you'll be able to register for the webinar series in there. So it's infoserve.com/COVID. Okay, so please do share that with any friends, family, businesses that you know. We're all good to go. I think everyone's here. We've got just under 100 people at the moment. There's more to join as well. So this is fantastic. So for those that weren't here last time or in previous sessions, please let me say something. It'll take 20 seconds, a little bit about InfoServe, because there's been a few questions about how are we doing this? Why are we doing it? How come it's free? Are there any strings attached? No strings attached. Free advice, best practice advice straight from Google and Microsoft. And indeed, today, some of it is from Facebook, because, by the way, we're also a Facebook partner. But we're only one of 3 companies in the UK to be a Google Premier Partner and Microsoft Elite Partner. Those are the highest level of partnerships you can get with the search engines. We're the only one in Yorkshire as well, so we're quite proud of being Yorkshire, the only Google Premier Partner, Microsoft Elite Partner. So a little bit of accreditation, a little bit of security and trust for you there, knowing that everything we tell you is good advice. We've got a lot to go through. But what we're going to do is we're going to recap on a couple of things. And the reason why we're going to recap is because, first of all, it's Monday and we've got some really intense content this week. We've got some seriously in-depth content around Google Ads, social media, the keywords planner on Google. There's loads to come. But because it's Monday and because we've done so much, we've had so many questions off people. It seems like everyone is asking questions about, how do I do this on my Google listing? How do I update my website? What should I put at the top of my website? So we're going to recap because there's a lot of people in here today that haven't seen what we did all of last week. I'm not going to go over everything, so don't worry. If you have seen what we did last week, what we're going to do is I'm going to go online, because I know that everybody likes it when I go to Google, and I'm going to ask again if anyone wants to ask any questions. So we're going to go through any questions first of all, and we're going to recap. So if anyone would like again to give me their business name, we've had so much positivity in just checking over businesses live on the internet. So if you just want to give us a business name, we'll check a couple in a moment, and then what we can do is just ask some questions from there. Last week, what we looked at was the Google My Business platform, the platform you can have on Google that powers your local listing. So, for example, if someone does a search on Google for your business name, such as Relaxation Centre Sandhurst, which Sharon's just pointed out there, or Blue 72 Creative, or Sweet Revolution. I recognize that name, Sweet Revolution. Jane, are you a customer of ours? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, if anyone types in your business name into Google, what consumers see, what searchers see, is your business listing, your Google business listing on the right hand side. So you should be able to see that on screen. On the left hand side, they can see your organic website ranking. So please try to remember these phrases. Organic website is on the left hand side, and your Google listing, your Google My Business listing, is on the right hand side. So we're gonna dive into that in a second, because we looked at that last week. But also what we looked at last week was not only optimizing your Google listing, but how to optimize your own website so that you can get it found higher in the organic search results. So thank you so much for the business names piling through the chat here. There's tons of business. Thank you so much. We're going to pick out a couple in a minute. So we're going to look at your website as well. And in this particular example on screen is a website that has something we call an areas we cover page area. So basically what they've done is they've created a drop down of all the different areas they cover, and there's a dedicated page for each of those areas. So for example, if you go to Google and type in it's painters, decorators, I don't know, Bramhope or Otley, this company comes up on page one for most of those locations. It's because of that work, which I'll show you in a second. So we talked about Google listing optimization, Bing listing optimization, the website optimization, and then what we looked at was the layout of service pages and how you can turn more website visitors into inquiries. So what we showed you was how you can turn visitors into inquiries, and by certain things in terms of having a contact form at the top of the page with a clear call to action, a clear button, and a clear headline with unique selling points. And then what we looked at on Saturday, for those lucky enough to join on Saturday, yes, we did a session on Saturday. Yes, we've got nothing better to do on a weekend. But thank you for those that joined on Saturday, because it was good fun and it went on for an hour and a half. How did we manage that? But what we looked at on Saturday was creating the perfect promotion and lining up your website so that it works perfectly for the promotion you're running. And I quickly showed you how to create a promotion on Facebook and then how to create a page on your website. So we'll look at that as well in a second. What we're going to do is look at, once we've done a recap and once we've gone through those 4 points quickly, we're going to look at Facebook and how you can ensure that your Facebook page is set up with everything it needs right now, because people now more than ever are on Facebook, and they'll be on Instagram and they're looking at your business. 1 in 3 people who look for reviews or for reassurance about using a business check Facebook. 1 in 3 people. That's an incredible amount of people that look at your Facebook page before they make a decision. So all of these basic tips that we're giving you in these last few days, they are quite basic, but they're the essential things that help people decide whether they're going to use you or not. So it's often overlooked. These tips we're giving you are often overlooked. Okay. So we're going to dive straight online. So I'm going to be opening up a page. I'm going to share my screen, and you should be able to see my Google screen. And I'm going to ask Josh if he can see it. And if Josh says he can see it, then everyone can see it. Okay, so we're on Google, and what I'm going to do is get Josh, pick out a couple of businesses. There was a load, especially at the start there. So pick out the ones at the start. I think I said I recognize one, but if you can pick out one from the start, and then we're going to have a quick search on Google. Whilst Josh is doing that, let me just show you the example that I showed on this website where they've created drop-down pages. Remember, what we've done is we've created pages for each location. So, for example, if I go to the Otley page on this customer's website, we can see that he's put quality painters and decorators in Otley. And that's what we call the heading on the website. The heading needs to match, remember, the title tag. So the heading needs to match the title tag. And so in the title tag, it will say painters and decorators Otley. Okay, so we match the heading with the title tag. That's rule number one. And that's on every page. So let's just go to another page. Painters and decorators, Guiseley. Let's obviously see the title tag, which just says painters and decorators, Guiseley. Okay. So Josh, give me a name, business name. Okay, yeah, he's got a couple. I'm going to need a couple more though, maybe. Okay, so on every page, we've done the same thing. We've optimized it for every location. And so if I go painters and decorators Otley, this dynamic decor company, I don't think they're in Otley, but we can check any location. Actually, wow, for the position has disappeared. So let me just check if it's my search history. Let me just check. Well, there he is under another one. Let me try another. So obviously what I'm doing here is I'm on Google typing in different locations. And yet he's coming up under these different locations, but Otley was a bit of an issue. So I'll look back on that later on, but we could type any location. So remember, on his page, he's got different locations. Let's just go to Yeadon, which is another location, another area nearby. Painters and decorate. There he is, first page. In fact, he's got two positions. Notice, by the way, on every occasion, it's the actual page that appears on Google as well. So once you've optimized the page, once you've built this page, the visitor will actually land on that page if they do a search on Google. So that's nice and easy to remember. Okay, so we're going back to Google and we're typing in, I'm going to type in, so Josh, just need the business name, not the links, just the business name. So I'm typing in design and sound calibration. I'm talking to my trusty assistant, shout out to him. Northland, so design and sound calibration. The reason why I need the business name is because I also need to know, I might need to know whereabouts you're based. So I'm not sure. This is London, I presume. Let me have a look. I think it's London. Bear with me. We're checking. It doesn't say whereabouts they are. So Josh, just need the location for some of these as well. I'll check another one because notice that I've typed in the business name and there's no Google My Business that comes up. I don't know if you are in London. Apologies if you're not, but I would need to put your location in. So I'm going to do it one more. I'm going to do another one, and we'll type in pocket training. Yeah, again, we need the business location. So let's have a look. There's all sorts of things coming up on my screen here. Pocket train. No, Josh, we're going to need locations. We're going to need locations. Let me try another one, guys. What I'm going to do is go back to the chat myself. Pochat trainer. Yes, sorry. Josh has put the wrong spelling in. No, never mind. Never mind. Not to worry. It's okay. We are typing things quite quickly, so you can imagine sometimes a letter gets missed off. Okay, so here's a good one. We can already see the Google My Business listing. It's come up here, and you've even got an alert here for COVID-19, which is fantastic. You've done that as an event. Well done, fantastic. So what we talked about last week, we talked about a handful of things that you need to do. Every business needs to have on their listing. Number one was one of the things was photos. So I can see that obviously your first day training, etc., etc. Fantastic. You've got some brilliant photos of you, the team, you at work. That is brilliant. So well done. That's a 10 out of 10. I am expecting at this stage that most of you have done this. So I'm hoping these business listings look 10 out of 10 now. So I'm looking at the see outside. One of the things we told you to do last week was make sure the see outside looks at the right business, the right building. And to edit that, you just need to jump into your Google My Business listing and check, and you can actually move the map marker. So when you get to the address bit in Google My Business, you can actually move the map marker. And what we also said was to make sure the opening hours are updated and you've got a business description. So you have got a great business description here. It's longer than some of the ones that we saw last week. So that's fantastic. And this really is a 10 out of 10 because one thing we said to do as well is use Google Posts. So within Google My Business, you can use posts, and this company is doing that. So fantastic. You are taking this very seriously and you're implementing the things. You may have done this before, but this is a great example of a company that has got everything up to date. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into a Google My Business dashboard to show you an example. And what we talked about last week is how to get to Google My Business. It's at the top of the page. On the right-hand side, you just click on the button here and you can jump into the app on your computer. You can even download an app on your mobile phone, by the way. So if you're on the go and you want to update your business on the go, there is a Google My Business app on all major, I think iPhone, Apple Store, etc., etc. So when you go to Google My Business, make sure you click on the Info tab. The Info tab is probably where you want to start. And within there, you can update the basic information. For example, on this one, I can see that there is a number, there's a number of fields that I can update, the opening hours, the telephone number. I can even put services in. So if I want to add a service, gutter installation, gutter repair, roof inspection, yeah, why not? Add all this stuff. Because what we told you last week was, and this is quote from Google, please don't tell me off Google for saying this, but they did say to us that more stuff you update on Google, the more features you use, the better it is for the business listing. And so read of what you want from that. But effectively what that's telling me is using these features on Google means that you've got a better chance of getting found on Google. Okay, so maybe that's an algorithm thing that they're referring to. One thing we showed you last week as well is collecting reviews. So if you want to collect reviews, there is an easy way of doing that. Share your Google My Business URL. And to do that, make sure you're in the Info tab, click on Add Short Name. And what I'm going to do is, well, there's already one predicted here, so I'm just going to use that. That's fantastic. That's a good short name. And I'm going to click Apply. And most businesses haven't done this yet. So do add a short name. And once you've added a short name, you'll be given a link. And that link is your Google My Business link. And all you need to do now is share that with your audience. Very easily share that with your audience. And when they click on that link, when your customers click on that, they're taken through to your Google My Business listing. So how good is that? It goes straight through to your Google My Business listing, where of course they can write a review. And so very easily done. And I'll go back to the dashboard. And we told you how to update photos. So you just click on the Photos tab, of course, and you can go ahead from there and add photos in. It's very easy. You can even label those photos. So please do bear that in mind. We saw one business last week label their photos with some of their keywords. So for example, if it's a guttering service photo that you're doing, make sure you put guttering services Grimsby in this example. So you can actually label your photos with different keywords, etc., etc. You can remove photos very easily. Like I say, you can put categories on, and so on and so on. It is really cool. It's really amazing how much you can do. My phone just rang. I am sorry about that. That's the first time that's happened. So let's have a look. So we've got photos. We've done that. We've got many other options within here, such as services, such as the products that you can add. You can do all sorts. What I would recommend, though, and I'm sure Google would agree with me here, if you've got a website, you don't need to click on that website button there, because what the website link does there is it will set up a like a landing page for your business. It will actually build a website for you, and I wouldn't recommend doing that. So make sure that you maybe don't go into the website section. Okay, so once you've done that, you should be able to update everything else on the GMB. What I'm going to do is I've got a couple more businesses here, and there's one at the start which I saw land in the chat straight away. So it's only fair to do this search, because these guys were quite quick at search at giving us their business name. One thing I noticed is obviously there's no GMB coming up, even if I put Peak District in. So to get the GMB, I might just have a look at just exactly where you are. I can see they're in the Peak District. So map lock. So if I just go back to Google and just make sure. There we go. So sometimes you might have to put the actual town or village as to where you are, just to bring up the Google My Business or GMB listing. Okay, so photos is the first thing I check, and the reason why I check photos is because it's the first thing that visitors see. This is your brand on Google. This is how your brand is represented. You've got reviews. You've got hotel details. I don't know if you're allowed to put a business description in on yours because it's an accommodation, but see if you can add a business description. I'd recommend you do that, and obviously unique selling points. There's no Google Posts, so I'd recommend that you use the Google Posts. It's just within the GMB. You'll see it on the left-hand side. It says Posts. It's one of the tabs on the left, Posts, and you can use that to write posts. It's very easy. What I'm going to do is just dive onto the website now, because we're moving on from the GMB. So I'm diving into the website, and the first thing I'm going to do is check the title tag on your website, and it does say Peak District, log cabins, etc. So that's great. Well done. You've got the SEO in basic terms set up well. I'm going to go and look at one of your other pages. What we looked at last week was checking the title tags. And then checking the heading tags, the headings on the which is usually the first heading you see. I'm just going to do something, guys. Please do ignore me here, because there's a bit of a geeky thing to do this, but I want to just see if that's a heading. If the website design has built that as a heading, I don't think it is. So I'm just going to check another one just to see if any of these. That's the H3. So that's the heading 3. Okay. I'm struggling to find the first header, the first heading, what we sometimes call the heading 1, H1. But the other thing that's concerned me on this page is that this is clearly the log cabin holiday page. And whilst you do have that keyword in your title tag, it does say log cabin holidays. It hasn't got the location in your title tag. So make sure you add the location Peak District into your title tag. And you could possibly, if you're feeling as though you really want to go further with SEO, you could add it in here as well. Our cozy log cabins within in the Peak District, and by having the location in the heading and the title tag, it really helps your website optimization in terms of if someone's searching for log cabins, Peak District, your website will hopefully be found higher by doing some of these basic things. Back to Google. Because the other thing we talked about was the location pages. County Physio, Haddington. Thank you for giving me your location. And I would recommend you get more reviews. So we talked about getting more reviews, and we talked about the business description. I can't see a business description on here, so do bear that in mind, but you are using Google Posts. So that's fantastic. Well done. Really pleased to see you using Google Posts, and you started doing that 4 days ago. Please tell me you've done that on the back of this webinar. That would mean so much to us if you've been using this on the back of the webinar. Fantastic. Well done. Photos. Let's have a quick look at photos. Yep, you've got a good range of photos. You could probably add more photos in there. I would try to take some good photos with a good camera, the team, inside, exterior, as much as you can, really. Collect more reviews. I've shown you how to do that. I mean, ultimately, if you just want to tell people to Google your business name and they'll find it that way as well, that's one way of doing it. So well done. But I'm just going to go onto your website. And we looked at this. Yes, we looked at this, didn't we? Possibly at the weekend. I can't quite remember. So I don't know if you've managed to update it yet. But we recommended that you could take out the keyword, the word home out, because in the title tag at the moment, you've got the word home in there. You don't need that in the title tag. That's taking up valuable space. The title tag is 45, 55 characters in length. That's how long it should be. And if you use that vital space up with the word home, which isn't a keyword that people type into Google, is it? So I would take out the word home and replace it with something, one of you, neck pain, back pain. You could potentially get found on Google for other keywords. So I think we looked at this last week. So quick check. So you've got neck pain there. You could possibly put the location in your heading. This is a heading here, which is the main heading on the page. And what we recommended to this one was what. So we had this as an example come up, and what I said was make sure you've got a stronger call to action. Now, I know this might take a bit of effort to do this because you need to speak to a web designer, web developer. You need a web designer to do this. I'd recommend everyone make sure you're using a proper designer. There's a big difference between doing it yourself and using a designer, okay? Because people these days are looking, first impressions. As I said last week, first impressions accounted for 94% of the time. So that's what makes or breaks someone using your business, is how does it look? How easy is it to get started? So let's say I'm interested. I've got neck pain. I really need help. I'm interested, but I'm looking around, I'm impatient. This is what people are like. They've only got 7 seconds. People tend to stay on pages for 6 to 7 to 8 seconds, and I can't find, where do I go next? I know it's here. I know you've got it buried within the content, but there's, you've got a fantastic website, fantastic business, but do make sure that you're pulling out the call to action, which is this. Make sure you're pulling that out and making it really prominent for people to see. So you need a button or a stronger call to action here. And what Josh is saying is that how do you do posts? How do you add descriptions? Quick demo, really quick demo for anyone who wants to know how to do posts. I'm just going to be using this business as an example. So I log into Google. Here, and I look down on the left-hand side. And if you look on the left-hand side, you'll see all these different tabs, okay? And within these tabs, you should normally have, yes, there we go. Second one down, you've got a posts tab. So all you need to do is just click on the posts, and it walks you through it. It's really easy. And look what you can do. You can do, I'm really sorry, my screen, when I zoom in, sometimes I'm losing things. So what you can do is you can add an offer. You can even add a COVID-19 update. So this was the reason why we started these webinars, because everybody should be using the COVID-19 update. I saw on one of the businesses just earlier that someone's used that function, and it looks really good. So let me just show you what happens. You've got an update, and you can put due to the recent changes in our business. We are now closed. Yeah, etc. etc. And please call this number maybe, or please go to this website. You can do anything here. You can send them to a different place. So you could say, if you're a restaurant and you want people to order online, why don't you set up an online function, and you can actually put the actual link to the page that you want them to go to here. So it's really cool. Or you can get people to call you, and so you just select the call now button. So that is the COVID. But I can do other things. I can do a special offer. I can upload a photo into that special offer, and I can write the post, and I can add a button. And so on and so on and so on. So it's really easy. So here's a special offer one. It's really easy to do. 20% off for the next 30 days, or until end of April. 20% off until end of April. You can put end date. You can put start dates for that special offer. You can even put a time that you want it to start. You can put more details in, such as offer details. You can even add voucher codes. Yes, you can use voucher codes on a Google post, and you can link to a specific page, and you can even put terms and conditions. Look at the things that you can do for free on your Google listing, which is the thing that everybody uses or looks at before they contact you. This is the thing that most people will check before they contact you. Have you got an event? Are you doing a free webinar like us? Put it in the events. Josh, we should have done that on ours. We forgot to put an event on our Google post. It's easy to forget, isn't it? It's easy to overlook these things. But if you haven't got people that you can email like us, then what I would do is make sure you use the event. The other thing that people are asking is, how do you add descriptions? Well, you just go to the info tab. So the info tab on Google My Business, and simply go down here, and it says add business description. And so within there, have a look. I've got 750 characters to write. So, just type away, put in as much as you can. And what I said is that I'd recommend that you use some unique selling points. So make sure you've got some nice unique selling points in there. Free delivery, and such. 20% off in April, and then what you can do is go like this. We specialize in, and then you go on, and you can type as much as you want in there, up to 750 characters, and that's how you do a description. So make sure you use the description. You've got services you can add products, and so on and so on and so on. And so let's go back to Google, because we have got one more that we want to check. North London locksmiths. I really hope this one comes up, because in London there are a lot of, okay, here we go. This should be it. If this isn't it, I'm really sorry if this isn't your Google My Business listing. However, this is a good one to look at, because before we did these webinars, this is what we saw most of the time was unfinished Google My Business listings. It doesn't say that your business is lacking in any way. It's just that, rest assured, most businesses we speak to overlook the key bits on this, which is there for you to do for free of charge. So, for example, there's no photos. It just takes me through to this. And you've got to ask yourself, does this represent my business in the best possible way? This is your brand on Google. I typed in the business name, and this is the brand on Google. And this is what people do. I think we lost connection. Hopefully we should be okay. But anyway, I was just saying that this is your brand on Google. So, this is what most people look at before they call you. So again, lots to update on this one. Lots and lots to update. Let's go to the website link. Okay, so obviously clearly a locksmith. And again, with locksmiths, websites, do they need to look fantastic? Well, they don't need lots of money put into design, that's for sure. But the one thing I would recommend is just, make sure your website is trustworthy. Make sure it represents your business in the right way, because people make decisions on how your shop window looks. And we all do it. We all walk past restaurants or clothes shops or whatever it may be, and we look at the shop window. Does it look clean? Does it look modern? How does that shop window look? And this is your online shop window. So make sure that it's trustworthy and looks the business. And it is very easy to create a website. And we showed you that on Saturday. So what we showed you on Saturday was creating a website, creating the perfect promotion page. And we set up a demo page like this, and it was really easy to do. And if you've got your own web builder, then I highly recommend that you go ahead and watch Saturday's webinar. So Saturday's webinar showed everyone how to literally create pages on the website. So we were doing it live on the spot. And obviously what I was using here is I'm using the InfoServe website editor, but there's many out there, you know, Wix, WordPress, and it's really easy to update your website and create unique selling points, etc., etc. And yeah, so we talked to you about creating the perfect promotion page. So what we said on Saturday, if I just remove that, what we said was when you create a Facebook post, and I'm going to show you a Facebook post now, so hopefully you can see my screen. I'm just going to go to the InfoServe page really quickly. When we create a post on Facebook, because what we might want to do is run a promotion, and everybody at the moment, I'd encourage everyone to do something around marketing or promotion. Excuse all the messages that are coming up. So let me just go back to where I was. Sorry, it's gone back to someone else's page. There we go. Okay, so what we showed you was when you create a post on Facebook, keep it simple. For April only, we're offering 20% off all products. Now, I know some people can't do promotions. I know 20% off or 5% off isn't something that everyone can do, but think outside the box. You know, 30 minutes free consultation. 30-minute webinar. I mean, get onto a webinar like we're doing with all of your customers. Do it. Buy one, get one, whatever it may be. I'm sure there's something you can do. And what we said is when you're doing this, keep it really simple. Have a really strong call to action. You know, book now, sign up now, and then put your website URL in. And keep the whole thing very simple. So what I would do is obviously add a few photos into this. But what we were saying on Saturday was the landing page is what we call it. This is a landing page, this URL that we're creating. And if I just go back to the page that we were looking at on Saturday, this was the landing page example. This is obviously an example. So if I'm a physiotherapist, I create a post on Facebook, I want to link it to this specific page I created on my website. And that specific page needs to have the heading mimic exactly the same as what you've written on your post. So you're going to write a post on Facebook, you're going to write a post on Google, My Business, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, anywhere you can put on the internet for this promotion. Get it out there, use the same wording and use exactly the same website link. And if you can, try to create this promotion page, or what we call landing page. And so anyone that clicked on my promotion, if I'm a physiotherapist and anyone clicks on my promotion for 30 minutes free consultation, they would land on this page. And it's really clear that I've landed on the right page. And what we talked about on Saturday was start with the problem. What is your visitor's problem? So for example, are you in pain from running? Have you been exercising this week and you've got an injury? Well, we're offering 30 minutes free physiotherapy and we'll help you fix any injuries instantly. That was just an example, but what we know that works really well, and this is Google tell us the same thing and Facebook tell us the same thing all the time, start with the pain, the problem. What is it that you're trying to fix? What does your promotion, as it were, or your service, what does it fix? And so think about that. So it's starting with the opposite. So for a physiotherapist, are you in pain? Well, we can help with 30 minutes free consultation. What we recommended on Saturday was have a very clear and simple call to action and a contact form with minimal fields. So keep the fields, 3 to 4 fields. That would be perfect. And then we said to have the unique selling points. So the unique selling points here, really clear, laid out, very, very simple, very striking visually. And as you can see, it's modern, it's clean, it's symmetrical, it just works. And so if someone wants to read more, they can. On your landing page, what I'd recommend is you have a little bit more content about the service that you're offering. And we put an example here, just a very small piece of content about the service, with obviously a clear header, learn more. And then we said to put another button, okay? And we looked at a business just before. We were just looking at a website, and I recommended to put a button on one of the pages. Well, having a button, the call to action, and it's the same call to action, by the way, as what we've got here, having the same call to action and then linking that to the contact form. So if you see what I've done there is, okay, I've read a bit about the service. I'm going to click on that, and then here I am back to square one. And so I fill in the contact form, etc., etc., etc. So what we said was, oops, if I just get rid of that, is have the button that links straight to that booking form. And then underneath the bit about your service, you've got testimonials. You really need testimonials and reviews. And this is just an example here. These are just fake. We've just put it in there to show you the layout, but reviews and testimonials. And again, a final button here. And guess what that does? It goes straight to the top to that booking form. And I can just fill in my details really quickly. Take note of how simple and easy and linear this all is. We've landed on the page, your promotion page, and indeed it could be. This is the same kind of structure as what we would recommend with any of your service pages. So, for example, if you're a plumber and you do, let's say, boiler installation, and you've got a service page for boiler installation, I would recommend you have a dedicated page for that, and it would say here boiler installation. Sorry, so it'll say boiler installation, and maybe it'll have your location in there as well. And again, it would have the contact form, a very simple call to action, book now, USPs, a bit about the service, and then button, testimonials, button, and that is the perfect page for converting visitors into inquiries. If you don't have buttons or simple call to actions, and if you have multiple buttons that take people off to different places on the website, that really does lower conversions quite drastically. So please do bear that in mind as I just jump back to the webinar. If you have different buttons across your website and those buttons link to different pages, just do bear in mind you're taking someone away from the page that they landed on from a promotion, and you're taking them elsewhere, and that can get confusing, and it can get a bit messy, and it can get a bit confusing, and ultimately you start to see conversions drop. It's incredible that we've changed website layouts and promotion pages to what I've just shown you, and we have seen conversion rates go from 0.5% to things like 20, 25% overnight by just doing those simple things. So making sure your website has the right layout and a good layout. So everything looks good. I'm just going to check in on the chat. Check in on questions while we take a 2-second breather whilst I have a quick drink of water. Okay, for a Facebook post, what's the ideal number of images per post? Good question. We have got a Facebook session this week from our lovely Sam. Sam is a social media guru. He's on my team and he is fantastic. He is going to be able to pick that one up this week, but I'll kind of touch on that briefly. What Sam's going to be showing us all this week, he's going to show us how to create really engaging content. So content that gets good engagement from your audience, how you can get more followers on Facebook and Instagram, because obviously that's what we all want, right? We all want more followers. And for small businesses, Facebook and Instagram is a critical part of the mix. So how many images would you have? Well, I think Sam, I'd probably leave that one to Sam, but 3, I would say minimum. But there is a trick, and Sam might let you in on this trick. I think, and I wish Sam could answer this question, but I think what we tend to do is add 5 to 6 because it makes the user click on the images. And if you make the visitor click on the images, so you've uploaded 5 to 6, and you'll often see that the visitor can see maybe 4 images, but then it's got like a see more to see more images. So what we find is that if you add more images, it makes that person click, and the more clicks, better. So what we're going to do is talking of Facebook. Sorry about the windows all going crazy. Talking of Facebook, we are going to look at Facebook now. So we're going to be taking a deep dive into Facebook now for the last part of this webinar. And hopefully we've gone over a few key essential bits with your search and your website. And what I'd like to just say before I continue is that we're going to be expanding the whole search optimization. So optimizing your website to get found higher. We've got more stuff to show you. And we've got a lot more things, a lot more tricks to show you in terms of getting your business found. So we're going to be covering that in some webinars coming up. So those are just the basics, believe it or not. If you want to watch those webinars back, please do check out, I think, chat in the chat. I think, Josh, if you can let everyone know how they can watch those webinars back, he'll drop a link in there so you can go over those. But onto Facebook. And I've brought up an example here of a business that hasn't done the first thing I would do if I had a Facebook page. What they have got, they've got a lot of beautiful things, imagery, and they've got a great story going on here. There's a lot of good stuff going on here, but there's something essential that they've missed, and it's the username. So I want everyone to do, I'm going to give you 3 to 4 tips here before we go, but you will need a pen and paper for this one. So tip number 1 is make sure that you have your username set up. So just click on, you'll see underneath your name, when you're logged into Facebook, you'll see that you can create a username. It's really easy. And I'm going to try and do that here for this one. Marquise Leeds, let me check the spelling, King Marquise Leeds. I want that username because, in fact, what I might do, oh, no, I'm going to just create the username and it should just work that way. There we go. And I know this gentleman won't mind me doing that because he is a customer of ours, and he's working with us at the moment on Facebook. So we're just getting started on his Facebook page, and we're going to be making some improvements. So that's the number 1 thing that I would do. You can change that, by the way. We can change that anytime. Number 2, what else would I do? Well, take this one, for example. If I just reload this page a second. So what I would do, if I just get rid of the thing at the top and leave you with that. Okay, so what I would do is use your cover image as best as you can. You've got so many different options here for this cover, and this is the cover photo. Make sure that you're showing off your business. Look at how good this looks. This lady at Yorkshire Escapes is getting tons of bookings through her Facebook page. It works really well. And what you can do with the cover photo is you can either use an image, but make sure the image is a good high resolution image. Or you can, like I say, you can upload video like what we've done here, or you can even create a slideshow in Facebook itself. And a slideshow is comprised of different images, so multiple images, and what it'll do is it'll rotate around those images. So there's some really good things that you can do here. We've actually just made this video for this lady, and we put it in at the top, and we think it works really well. When Yorkshire Escapes came to us, she had very minimal kind of artwork design on a Facebook page, and the logo wasn't the profile picture, sorry, wasn't her logo. I'd recommend everybody to upload their logo to their profile picture. We often find that people haven't done that, and they just have like an image of the business or a photo. And make sure you've got your logo in there. Make sure it's nice and clean and you know, looks quite nice, just to represent your brand. So that was my tip number 2, is just make sure that the basics are in place. But tip number 3 is the story. Now, within Facebook, you can just dive straight onto your page and edit this section here, the story. If you can't see that here, by the way, if you can't see the story, don't worry. All you need to do is go to your settings within Facebook. So you just got to find the settings tab in Facebook. And what you can do is, if I just go to, say if I go to, it's going to be under the tabs, sorry, there's templates and tabs. And so note where I am here. I'm in the settings and I've clicked on templates and tabs. You can actually change your Facebook page template. So this is tip number 3, is I recommend that you all take time this afternoon to go into your Facebook page and have a look at the different templates that Facebook has created for your business. And they even recommend which template to use specifically for your business. But you can change them depending on what type of business you have. Look at these. They're fantastic. So, for example, if you're a restaurant or cafe, the template will change and the buttons on page will be located in a different position. And there'll be different tabs selected as well. So it'll show all these different tabs that are relevant to a restaurant, for example. So I'm going to go back. The template that we've got is just for a standard business template. So note where I am. I'm on the standard business template. And what I want to do is I can now mess around with the tabs on my Facebook page. And you can have a look within here, and you can actually choose the settings of these tabs, and you can add new tabs. So there's a range of different things you can add to Facebook. So if I wanted to create live videos, show live videos on my page, well, I obviously, clearly we love going live. So one thing we're going to do as a company, now that we know that this is helpful for businesses, we're going to add a live tab to our Facebook page, and we're going to go live on Facebook. And indeed, if you've got a business, I'd highly recommend getting your phone out and using video just to show people around your business. Show yourself, walk around your business, introduce yourself, have a little tour of your business, and do things like that, just to add a bit of a human touch. So the tabs that we've got in here are perfect. But one thing I was talking about before was the story tab, and because I've actually set it up already, it's not here, so apologies. But you can find the stories function within the settings. It is quite easy to find. Once you go into your settings, you'll be able to have a look at your story, and that's only if you can't see it on your page. And most of the time, you should be able to edit your story right here on your page. And so let me just quickly show you what you can do with the story. So you can add a description of your business, and what Victoria, this lovely biz lady's done here, is added her signature, and that's a nice touch. And it's a nice description of the business with a lovely image of one of her holiday cottages, and I can edit that. She can edit that, of course. She can add multiple bits of information down here. So there's all sorts you can do. You can put bullet points. You can add headings. Remember, we've been talking about headings on your website. Well, you can add headings, heading 1, which is the main one, to your story even on Facebook, which is incredible. Because if it works like a website, and if H1s, like the heading on your website, is powering the optimization of your website with keywords, then why don't we use it here? Because who knows what might happen. I shouldn't have done that. I'll delete that in a second. But if you were to put holiday cottages Yorkshire in your heading, that might work really well. So I'm just going to get off that rather than change. I don't want to change that for her. So use the story. That is a big thing that people often overlook. What we're going to be talking about this week when we get into more social media and content creation, we're going to show you how to create engaging content and how you can get more people engaging with your content and getting more likes on page. I'm going to go back to the settings tab on Facebook, and I just want to draw your attention to everything within the settings tab. You need to make sure that your page is published, that you've checked all of this stuff down in the general setting, but I want you to definitely go to the page info tab in settings. So make a note of that. Page info, because you've got a description area here. And actually, if I could recommend something, is that Yorkshire Escapes could add more to this description, a little bit more. It's 255 characters, but you can add more than what's there. And then you've got categories as well. Do you know that you can add categories? So, for example, what I tend to see is if I go to a different page, if I just go to a different page here, and I go back to page info, the thing that we were just looking at, what I tend to see is people are missing categories. So have a look at this. If I can add, not marquee hire, but I can certainly add wedding planning service straight away. Now they're going to be found on Facebook for wedding planning service. You know, you don't actually have to type in the business name into Facebook. And so there's many things that you can add to your Facebook page, which will help and optimize it better. You've got website link, you've got email links, you've got service areas. So it's good to add service areas to that. You've got opening hours. And look, I think this company is not always open, so it might be wise to select specific hours. And then there's more products you can add here as well. So even this page that we've been working with, even this hasn't been optimized fully. So we've got a little bit more work to do here as well. We've only just started looking at it recently. So there's products, there's opening hours, there's always something you can do to a Facebook page to help optimize and stand out from the competition. So going back to the page, there's a number of things there, but I just want to now draw your attention last of all, and I think this is tip number 4 if I'm counting correctly. Tip number 4 would be to look down on your tabs and make sure you're using those tabs effectively. So, for example, we've been talking about promotions and offers. Well, look what we've got here. We've got an offers tab where you can create a promotion or push a service in your business, and there's so much you can do with this. You know, discount, delivery offers. You can even select the discount rates. You can do the expiry date, how people can redeem this offer. So they can redeem it on maybe a special page on your website. Do you want to put a promo code in there? You can do that. There's so many things, again, you can do with this. So it's the same as Google Posts. You can do a special post on Facebook. If I just discard that. Another thing is the services tab just here on the left-hand side. And on here, what we've done and what Victoria has done at Yorkshire Escapes is add special services. And she's using this very, very well. Look at all the different types of services that are active and live. Again, this is one of the reasons why they're getting so many bookings from so few followers on here, is their reach is further afield than just the people that are following them on Facebook, because they're using these features on Facebook. So use the features that Facebook offers. Go on the tabs on the left-hand side, go on your settings and check all that. Bear with me while I just stop screen sharing a second. And so diving back into chat, there's been a couple of questions. How often should you post? Well, it depends on the business type. If you're a type of business that people like to look at, visual businesses such as holiday accommodation, photographers, wedding venues. There's many businesses, isn't there, that people, you know, fashion, shopping, all e-commerce, any of those, I'd say every day you need to write a post every day. If you're, example, for a locksmith or a builder or something along those lines, or a solicitor, maybe not every day. Maybe you don't need to do that as much, but certainly every week. And let me just check if there's other listings. Your website is your shop front. Yes, it is, absolutely. Okay, so someone's asked what, so we're just going back a little bit here because we're coming to the end. Someone's asked about duplicate businesses. If you've got a duplicate listing on Google, there is a way of removing that duplicate listing. You can do that straight with Google. Indeed, we can help you because we work on behalf of Google as a Premier partner. Google use us as a partner to talk to SMBs, Google don't tend to work primarily with SMB, small businesses. They're dealing with some of the bigger corporations. So they use the likes of InfoServe to help small businesses. So if you need any help with duplicate listings, reach out to us. We can help you remove those duplicate listings. Okay, so everyone, I'm going to run one slide just before everyone goes. If I may, start this and finish on where we were. So we were looking at some essential bits on Facebook that you need to improve. Now, it is Monday, so we've kept this session pretty light. We have kept it pretty light, even though I've covered a lot of stuff. Some of the sessions towards the end of last week were really intense and really powerful in terms of search engine optimization. Today's quite basic in terms of the Facebook essentials that you need to look at. Obviously, we've looked at the perfect promotion page. We've looked at how you create the perfect service page, where you have a contact form, where you've got clear buttons, and where you've got bullet points or unique selling points, really obvious. Make sure you've got an attention-grabbing headline at the top of the page, and make sure you've got testimonials, please. Because what the testimonials does is it gives people trust in your business. We've talked about SEO optimization, and one of the biggest things we talked about was your brand on Google. Have a search for your business on Google, and by the way, everyone, make sure you do the same on Bing, because Bing has a 25% market share on PC computers. Now, a lot of people have PCs, I know that's for sure. Because of Windows and Windows 10, Bing is a default search engine, and time again, we're seeing businesses overlook their Bing listing. And if you want to update your Bing listing, just go to bingplaces.com, bingplaces.com. So you need to type your business name into Google, into Bing. How is it represented on there? Does it look credible? Does it look trustworthy? Will people think, yeah, I'm going to use this, I'm going to call this business, okay? So those are some of the essentials. And again, if you do need any help, please do reach out to us. We are here just to help businesses, and we're not looking for anything in return. Josh, do me one thing. We've got one last thing. All we ask for in return, which is free, this is free, is we are in the same position as you. Everybody wants reviews. We would be so appreciative if anyone, even just one or two of you, could leave a review for InfoServe. It would mean the world to us. And so we hope this has helped you. We hope you're getting a lot from this. Josh, can you just put the link to, we've got a Trustpilot, and if you could it'll take 1 minute, 30 seconds. If any of you could leave a review for us on Trustpilot, it would mean the world to us, because we just want to see how effective these sessions are. Are they helping you? Are you getting a lot from them? Please tell us. Please do leave a link so if you click on the link, Josh should have that link coming in, and it should be coming on shortly. It won't be it will be 2 seconds. Josh, do you want to just he's going to pin it to the top, I think. He's doing it any second now. If you have to go because it is coming to the end, then just type in InfoServe Trustpilot into Google. So InfoServe Trustpilot, and you can just write a review from just Googling InfoServe Trustpilot. We'd recommend everyone tries Trustpilot as well. It's free. They will try to get you upgrading. There it is. There's a link. Thank you so much, Josh. If any of you could leave a review, thank you so much. That's all we ask for in return. We're going to wrap it up now. We've gone 4 minutes over. We're going back to you tomorrow with some really, really good stuff. So tomorrow, I'm not going to reveal just yet what it is, but it's going to be one of 3 things. It's going to be all about creating engaging content on social media and getting more followers. And that is really heavy stuff that's coming straight from Facebook themselves. So some Facebook best practice is coming. Or it might be creating a perfect Google Ads campaign, that you can create, or what to look out for with Google Ads and Microsoft Ads. Or it might be how to actually find out what people are looking for your business. What keywords are people typing in? So that's coming tomorrow, and there's more coming this week, 2 p.m. every day. And I look forward to speaking to everyone. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Stay safe. Thank you again. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Kay. Oh, you're leaving one on Google. Yes, Google our business name, InfoServe. And wow, we really appreciate that. InfoServe Leeds. It might work for Leeds, even though we're just north of Leeds. But it might just work. InfoServe Leeds. Thank you, David. Thank you. Everything. Appreciate everyone being here. Kay, brilliant. Gaber, thank you very much. Maureen, brilliant. Thank you. Goodbye. Stay safe. We'll see you at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Goodbye.